They didn't just burn a city, they erased a people, an entire civilization, gone. Imagine waking up one morning, and by nightfall, your entire world is ash and silence. That's what Rome did to Carthage. But why? Why did the most powerful empire in the world decide that one city had to vanish from history itself? Because Carthage wasn't just an enemy. To Rome, it was an obsession. But what they didn't know was that obsession would cost them more than they ever imagined. You see, for over 100 years, Rome and Carthage had fought like two titans locked in endless combat. Carthage, a jewel of the Mediterranean, ruled the seas. Its merchants grew rich, its harbors overflowed with treasures, and its armies. Well, you've heard the name Hannibal, haven't you? The man who marched elephants across the Alps just to crush Rome's pride. And then, tragedy struck. At Cannae, in a single day, Hannibal killed nearly 50,000 Romans. Think about that number for a second. 50,000 families shattered. 50,000 sons and fathers who would never return. For Rome, it was more than defeat. It was humiliation carved into their soul. So tell me, if someone destroyed half your world in one day, would you ever forgive them? Rome didn't. Rome swore a blood oath. Carthage must die. But the real secret was still buried, because Carthage wasn't weak. Even after losing Hannibal, even after Rome's relentless pressure, Carthage rebuilt. The city glowed with wealth, its markets alive with spices, ivory, and gold. Its walls towered higher, its ships ruled trade. Carthage was like a phoenix. Every time Rome thought it was gone, it rose from the ashes. And that terrified Rome. What they found next changed everything. In 149 BC, Roman legions marched to the gates of Carthage. This wasn't a war anymore. It was an extermination. Rome's senators had made their decision. The city had to be wiped off the face of the earth. Not beaten, not broken, destroyed. So what would you have done if you lived in Carthage, staring at 80,000 Roman soldiers outside your walls? Would you run? Would you surrender? The people of Carthage chose something else. They chose to fight. Men, women, even children. They poured into the streets, melting down jewelry and weapons, building catapults out of scraps. For 3 long years, they defied the greatest military machine the world had ever seen. But what they didn't know was, Rome had already written their ending. The siege tightened. Hunger clawed at Carthage. Corpses piled in alleys. People ate rats, leather, even each other, just to survive another day. And still, they refused to bow. And then, tragedy struck again. In 146 BC, Roman general Scipio Aemilianus broke through the walls. What followed wasn't war. It was annihilation. House by house, street by street, Romans slaughtered everyone they found. For 6 days, the city burned. For 6 nights, screams filled the air. But the most valuable part was still missing. Because Rome didn't just want victory, they wanted erasure. After the killing stopped, after 150,000 people were dead or enslaved, the Romans leveled the city. They tore down temples, crushed statues, salted the earth so nothing would grow again. Carthage, the great rival of Rome, didn't just lose. It ceased to exist. What they found next changed everything. Because even as Carthage died, something strange happened. Rome itself changed. The republic that swore to destroy Carthage became darker, more ruthless. The senators who cried Carthage must be destroyed had unleashed a new Rome, a Rome that no longer fought for survival, but for domination. And that domination would consume them too. But the real secret was still buried. You see, Carthage never truly vanished, not in memory. Its ashes haunted Rome. Some whispered that when Carthage burned, a curse fell on the Republic. Within a century, Rome itself would collapse into civil wars, betrayals, and dictatorships. The dream of freedom that Rome claimed to protect died the same day Carthage did. So what would you have done if you were there? Would you have fought to the last, like the Carthaginians? Or watched as history erased your entire world? Because here's the truth. Civilizations don't just fall. They're erased by the hands of their enemies. And one day, someone will ask the same about us. So if you think the greatest stories of destruction have already been told, you haven't been paying attention. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next journey.